The idea that someday I would not be there when they need me for something was extremely difficult for me. Prior to having my psilocybin, I wouldn't even be able to say that sentence. So they put me back onto chemotherapy.
Well,
Since then, I have had 78 rounds of chemo, and I came across the Johns Hopkins study where they were using psilocybin mushrooms for end-of-life distress. They were having like 80% success rates from the research. I cannot ignore 80%. My anxiety scale was sitting at 36 out of 50. That's considered very high. And day after my psilocybin, I scored a 6.
wow. Were you uncomfortable in the moment? Were you scared? What was your emotion? Happiness?
It was a really good experience. I noted that I did not feel any discomfort or sadness while I was there. The treatment was so good and gave me so much relief so quickly and effectively that I was almost in a state of denial over its effectiveness. Yeah, too good to be true.
You have the ability to assisted death. You
MAID,
said that you
the MAID
have the
system,
right.
right?
You don't have the right to have psilocybin
Legally.
assisted psychotherapy legally. Could you not, in theory, just say, I'm going to grow my own, I'm going to do something myself?
I guess functionally, yes, I could totally do that. The point for me is, why would I allow Health Canada to force me into a situation where I have to get the best care illegally? The current pharmaceutical model is more of a way of renting your health. It's based on ongoing treatment. How about that?
Okay, now, and I have to be careful what I say because you're going to have it on record. Okay. No, okay. So you did, up until cancer, you were working, and then, yeah, you can continue.
So, yeah, so I was working up until 2019.
Okay.
So that was actually well into my cancer journey.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My cancer journey actually starts in 2016.
2016. Wow. Okay.
So right at the beginning of 2016, well, a little bit in 2015, I was starting to experience some symptoms. Went in to see my doctor. I was having some abdominal pain after I was eating and stuff like that. And they did a CT scan on me at the emergency ward at the hospital here. And I will never forget, the doctor came out and said, "Congratulations, Mr. Hartle, you have Crohn's disease." So went to see the gastro specialist, and they did a few colonoscopies on me, trying to see what was going on in there. And there was a partial obstruction in my ileocecal valve. So that is where the small intestine joins on to the large intestine. And the gastro guy was pretty convinced that that was something from the Crohn's disease. And so they started treating me with immune suppressive drugs for Crohn's, because that's what they do to treat that. And you may be surprised to learn that that did absolutely nothing. Didn't help at all. So in April of 2016, the partial obstruction became a full obstruction, and they scheduled me to go in for emergency surgery. Scheduled for like a 2-hour quick bowel resection, and the 2-hour surgery turned into a 6-hour surgery. Fortunately for me, the surgeon who got scheduled to do the procedure was an oncological surgeon. And so when he opened me up, he knew what he was looking at, but he didn't really say so right after the surgery. So they took out a couple of feet of intestines and 14 lymph nodes and a bunch of the peritoneal tissue and stuff. 6 weeks after that, I get a call from my family doctor. So during that surgery, I was expecting just, quick bowel resection, and not quite what happened. They actually had to do an ostomy on me. So I'm not sure if you're familiar what an ostomy is.
I know some of the other words you've been using. I've heard that word. I don't know that word.
So I had an ileostomy. So that the small intestine was what's normally supposed to be, say, about the size of a breakfast sausage. Mine was about the size of a baseball bat because it was backed up so much. So they weren't really able to reconnect the small intestine to what's left of the large intestine because it was just too distressed at that time. So what they do is they cut a hole in your stomach and bring the intestine out and attach it to the stomach, and they put a bag on there.
This is, I have a friend, sadly, that's going through that right now.
Right. So that's an ostomy. And so anyways, I had an ostomy after that, woke up from the surgery, and all kinds of life-changing things. I guess the short story for how I learned about my cancer. So the ostomy bag is just attached to your stomach with adhesive, so like tape, right? And so my wife and I are driving to my family doctor to get the results of the biopsy. And when you are nervous or upset, your intestines kind of kick into high gear. And so we're driving there, and for the first time ever since I got that ostomy put on there, the adhesive holding the bag on failed. So the bag just like pops right off my stomach, and of course there's now nothing containing what's coming out of my intestines. So I'm driving there, and I'm making a mess of myself, and we're trying to clean it up as best as we can. But we get to the family doctor, and of course I'm covered in my own poo and can't really go in. So my wife went in and got the doctor, and she was nice enough to come out to the car to talk to me. So sitting in my car, covered in my own poo, is how I found out that I had stage 4 cancer.
That's when the doctor came and told you.
Yeah.
Outside. And did they tell you how long you had or anything in that time?
They have never told me a prognosis,
Okay.
which is great. I'm stupid enough to go and look that stuff up for myself.
Of course, I was going to say, wouldn't anyone? And then, yes, would you find?
Usually about 18 months.
Wow. Okay.
So this particular kind of cancer that I've got, it's poorly differentiated adenocarcinoma is what it is.
My goodness. Wow.
So yeah. That one's kind of a mystery. Usually that's one that starts up in the appendix, but it's been decades since I had an appendix, so they weren't really too sure where it came from. But wow. It certainly hasn't been kicking around for that long. But
geez, and so again, thank you for sharing that. I'm really thankful you're so open and willing to share. Like, I can't even imagine how hard. I'm sure you've shared it many times now.
Yeah, well, I'm a pretty open book.
Okay.
If anything, I probably overshare a little, but
no, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. So what perspective changes when you find out you have short, like we all know we have limited time left.
Mhm.
We all know that, one day we will die. But some of us don't know when it's going to happen, and some of us are given a hint beforehand. In your case, you've been given something. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Honestly, in 2016, of course, you hear that you've got cancer, and I didn't panic right away about it. Honestly, um, I really, really tried to focus on that mindset that, you know, other people have survived cancer, and there's no reason why I can't be one of those people. And so I really focused my energy on trying to research what would be helpful and to figure out what things I could do that would um, assist with the treatment that I was on. And so I started on a regimen of supplements and stuff. Um, and I did 12 rounds of Folfox chemotherapy. And I went in for a second surgery in 2017, which was going to involve what they call a HIPEC procedure. So the HIPEC is where they open you up and they remove any cancer that they can see, and then they fill up the abdomen with hot chemo solution, and they just let it sit there for typically an hour, hour and a half, and it's supposed to get better penetration into the tissue for areas that are difficult because of the lower blood flow to some regions. So, but when they opened me up for that second surgery, I had responded really well to the chemotherapy and to the extra things that I was doing. And there was only one single tumor that the surgeon could see. And so they removed that, and they actually reversed the ileostomy. So reconnected my intestines back up. So all my plumbing is somewhat normal.
Mm-hmm.
Less a few bits and pieces in there. But after that second surgery in 2017, the doctor said, "You know what? I think we've got everything. You should be able to just go live your life, and that's it.
This is in
We don't."
2017.
2017, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the surgeon told me that he didn't see any more cancer in me at all, and so I'm
So
figuring
you're
I
officially
got
in
this.
remission. You're in remission at this point. Then is that what they? Like you're.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So that's exactly what I did. I continued working. I've been working full time. Aside from the time I take off to recover from surgeries and stuff. But I'm just living my life and being happy, right?
Wow. Okay.
And gradually, I'm starting to feel some symptoms coming back in 2019. So what I was noticing coming back was anemia. So I'm familiar. Anemia is where your hemoglobin is low.
Okay.
And you run out of gas very quickly. So I knew something was up, but I wasn't too sure what. And I went into my family doctor and got some blood work done, and my hemoglobin was down to 67, I believe.
Okay. What should it be?
Normal range for hemoglobin is 130 to 180.
Okay.
So they scheduled me for a transfusion and to get some iron infusion because my iron reserves were so depleted I couldn't make any more blood. So they got that going and scheduled me for colonoscopy. again. And in that colonoscopy, and so the other part of this equation is after you get an all clear, they are still doing PET scans on me every 3 months. So from
Okay.
2017 to 2019, like every 3 months, I'm going in for a PET scan, and every single one of those PET scans are coming back clear.
Okay.
So completely clear. There is nothing to see here. So I'm figuring cancer's under control. I'm doing just fine. There's something going on with my blood. I don't know what that is, but couldn't possibly be cancer because PET scans are like the best you can get, right? And those say I'm totally fine. So 2019, I go in for a colonoscopy, and during that colonoscopy, they find 2 bleeding tumors in my large intestine that the PET scans completely didn't see.
Jeez.
And so, that's like, well, shit. I don't know what's going on with the PET scan, but there's 2 tumors there, and okay. We schedule a 3rd surgery, no problem. They're gonna take out the rest of my large intestine because that's unfortunately just the way that it goes. And I'm gonna have like a permanent ostomy bag for the rest of my life after that. So going for that 3rd surgery, surgeon opens me up, and there are not 2 tumors on my large intestine. He actually looks in like 51 different places in the abdomen, and I have got tumors in 42 of those 51 places. So I don't have 2 tumors, I've got like 40 some tumors at least. So literally nothing he could do about that. He said, later that if he tried to take the tumors out, he'd have to like remove my whole digestive system. So all he did was he just cleaned up the incision line and closed things back up again. So everything that was in there is still in there. And they put me onto chemotherapy. So
those tumors were cancerous, is what they knew at that point.
Oh yeah, for
right?
sure.
That's what you mean. So they're all cancerous tumors.
Yeah.
So you went from stage 4 to remission to now stage 4 is what
you never get better than stage 4.
Okay.
So stage 4 is
permanent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse some of my questioning. Sometimes I'm new to this too a little bit. So.
All good. Yeah, no. As soon as you hit stage 4, they do not consider it curable anymore. Okay. So they just give you palliative care when you hit stage 4. So they put me back onto chemotherapy, and since then I have had 78 rounds of chemo.
78.
Yeah.
78 rounds. Wow.
That is like, it's a
lot.
mind-boggling thing. I get, let's say, 1.5 liters worth of chemo goes into my veins every time. And 78 rounds of chemo is enough to fill a large bathtub full of chemo. And that has passed through my veins. So I realized in 2019 that the best diagnostic imaging tools available can tell me absolutely nothing about the state of my cancer. And 2019 is where my actual end-of-life anxiety really set in. After that 3rd surgery, the surgeon told me that because I've got these tumors on the intestines, my likely end will be one of 2 things. Either I will get a rupture in the intestines in a weak spot, or I will get another blockage like I've had in repairable surgically, because I no longer am able to have any kind of surgery because of all of the work that I've had done. I now have adhesions. So my organs have attached to spots that they're not supposed to.
Mhm.
So if they cut into me anywhere, they might accidentally cut into something. So if either of those two things happen, that is just the end of me. And so when you have the understanding that any given day could be your last day,
Mhm.
anytime I get, like a gas pain or something like that, of course, that is pretty much a trigger for anxiety attacks for me, because of course it has to be something terrible happening, even though it's just regular old gas cramp.
My goodness. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, well,
Intense.
yeah. So that is where the anxiety started for me. And then in November of 2019, my mother-in-law passed unexpectedly, and my father-in-law, who also had stage 4 cancer, came here to live with us.
Okay.
And so, I'm recovering from surgery. I'm starting back up on chemotherapy and helping to look after my father-in-law, who's really late stage cancer.
Can I just ask you a question
Of course.
on that note? Um, what, and you said you're open book, and this is part of kind of what I want to learn and experience through this conversation too, is what is it that's the anxiety? What what was the anxiety stemming from? Was it the unknown of where you were going, or what was being left behind, or something completely different? If you don't mind me asking. At that time, I guess.
At that point, the major source of anxiety for me, I have 2 kids who are on the autism spectrum. They need a little extra help in
Okay.
getting through life and managing, right? The idea that someday I would not be there when they need me for something was extremely difficult for me. And that would be probably the most difficult thing that I was dealing with as an idea.
Understood.
Prior to having my psilocybin, I wouldn't even be able to say that sentence. It was that much of a hot item for me.
Oh my goodness.
It's not to say that it isn't, a
Now.
little bit emotional
Yeah.
for me even now.
Yeah.
But back in 2019, it was, like trying to pick up a red hot coal. It's absolutely untouchable as a concept for me.
Yeah. And at this time, how are your at that time, I'm talking about in 2019, how are your kids doing with this situation, and your wife and everyone else? How are they doing around you at that time?
Well, I've always done so well with my response to cancer treatment. Even though my kids have had a lot of people in their life, pass away from cancer. Mine, I don't think they see it as that dangerous as it actually is.
How old are they? Sorry, now
They're young adults now.
Okay.
My daughter's 24 and my son is 22.
Okay, got it.
So I've been dealing with cancer for 7 years. So I mean, they've grown a lot over the journey.
Yeah. Understood. Sorry, so I interrupted you. Your father-in-law.
Came to live with us, and I'm looking after him. And then he passed away in December of 2019.
So months apart.
Yeah. Yeah. And then in April of 22, my own dad passed away from dementia.
Last
And
year,
yeah, of
April of 22.
2022, yeah.
Okay, last
20,
2020.
2020,
Sorry.
pardon me.
So right at okay, dementia. Oh no, geez, that was right
So like
when all the COVID stuff was happening too.
yeah, oh, that was a really tough one, because that was, right when COVID
Mhm.
had just started, and he was in a nursing home, and of course they
course.
locked those down. So
Of course.
never even had a chance to go see him. It was yeah, that was bad. I'm also a stem cell donor.
Oh wow. Okay.
So years before any of this, I was a stem cell donor, and a couple of weeks after my dad passed, my stem cell recipient also passed away, and then a couple of weeks after that, I had a niece who had adrenal cancer also pass away. So, I
Oh,
mean,
in
in this
2020. Oh, in early
2020,
20. My
like
goodness.
just
First,
all within a 6-month period, it was just
gosh.
crazy.
And were
Like,
you feeling? Were you? Sorry. Go ahead.
oh man, I was just a train wreck.
Was it survivor's guilt type of situation, or was it
Well,
was it just why?
I mean, I'm have this end of life anxiety, and
Yeah,
then there are all of these people around me who are passing away, and many of them, passing from cancer that um, they have had for a much shorter time than me, right? So I mean, I at this point have already beaten the 18-month odds very well, and so um, this immediacy of all of this death around me was just made things so very prevalent in my thoughts. You know, you can't have so many people passing away around you and not wonder, am I next?
of course.
So, of course, every ache and pain, and I'm thinking, okay, this is it.
Jeez. And so if we go forward, obviously, I think was it July when your psilocybin treatment in
That was
2020?
August, I believe.
August.
Yeah.
So how did you where did that? I mean, you said you've done research, you said you're a professional nerd. I'm sure you've nerded out on every piece of
I
data that's
spend,
out there.
yeah, I spend so much time on PubMed looking at clinical studies.
Okay, PubMed, never heard of it.
Oh, wow. So PubMed, if if a if a doctor or a research group does research on something medical, that is where they publish their work. So your doctor would go to PubMed to
Got
look
it.
up the latest and the greatest.
Got it.
And that is a site that I have made a lot of use of looking for adjuvant treatments for my cancer.
Okay.
And the first round of chemo that I had, the Folfox, has an oxyplatin is one of the components, and a side effect of that is neuropathy.
Okay.
So that's where you
What
lose
is
the
that?
feeling in your fingers and toes.
Okay.
The platinum component in that just cooks your nerves.
Okay.
So after I had that, my oncologist told me if the feeling doesn't come back in a year, it's probably not going to come back. And I waited a year, and it didn't come back. So I started looking for what I could possibly do to help that. And what I found on PubMed was some studies where they were using lion's mane mushrooms for treating patients with early onset Alzheimer's and dementia. It has a neurogenic effect,
Wow.
so generates new nerve growth. And I was thinking to myself, if it is good enough to generate nerves in that sense, maybe it will help with my neuropathy. So I tried it out, and after about 6 months of using that, my feelings started coming back.
No way.
And so now I'm pretty normal, actually.
Wow.
I have
This is when in 2020? When is this?
this is actually way back in like
Oh, this is way back.
2017.
Okay,
So
got it.
I'm going to
That's
jump
okay.
around in time
No,
a
no,
little
no.
bit, but
Don't
there's
worry.
a good
I'm
reason
just trying to
for
make
it.
sure. No, no, no. I get it. I just wanted to make sure I'm on the same page. Okay, so 2017, your fingers, you were saying now they're
Yeah, so I'm
good.
using lion's mane mushrooms to help recover from the neuropathy caused from the chemotherapy.
And just
And
a question about that. Do you just eat them? Do you steep them in tea? Do you put like what's the method of
a concentrated
ingestion?
extract in capsules.
Okay, and where do you buy those? Or if you could,
I
maybe you can
tend to
share
buy
that.
mine in bulk
Okay.
from a place called purebulk.com.
Wow. Okay. And
The
it's a Canadian website?
American outfit.
Pure bulk. And it's, I guess, sorry, lion's mane is legal though, right? It's just mushroom. It's just
100% legal,
so
non-psychoactive.
okay, got it.
Just like a gourmet mushroom that happens to have medicinal qualities that are used in Eastern medicine.
Okay.
So,
Got
and
it.
so I figured, wow, that's cool. This is a natural substance that was able to help
Wow.
where regular medicine didn't have an answer for me.
Understood.
So I started looking for what other mushrooms might be helpful with my cancer.
Hmm.
And I have a couple of mushroom supplements that I take that are helpful for adjuvant treatment with chemotherapy, like turkey tail mushroom, for example. I take 8 grams of that a day. There's some really good studies that are showing that taking turkey tail in that sort of a dose with the type of chemo that I'm on gives like a 47% better 5-year survival rate versus chemo alone. So I was doing research for mushrooms and cancer back in like 2017, 2018. And I came across the Johns Hopkins study at that time where they were using psilocybin mushrooms for end-of-life distress. Now, back in 2017, 2018, I don't have end-of-life distress. So, I was aware of the research, but I, didn't really have any particular use for it at that time, right? Because, psychedelics didn't do anything for the cancer.
Mm-hmm.
But I was aware that psychedelics were a therapy for an end-of-life anxiety, and literally the exact thing that I had. So in 2019, of course, when I'm having difficulty with the anxiety, and early 2020, when things are getting really bad, I started looking for that research to see, if that might be something that would be helpful to me, because I knew it existed and I knew I didn't want to waste my time with the therapies that weren't working for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So found it. They were having like 80% success rates from the research, and I figured, you know what? I cannot ignore 80%. So I started looking for clinical trials here in Canada, or therapists that were advertising it. And of course, in 2020, there's like nothing. And so I found Therasil. Therasil assisted me with getting my Section 56. And
wow, so they existed back then.
they were very fresh. Yeah.
They must have been brand new. Yeah.
Brand new. Yep.
And you just found them Googling and searching and searching and searching.
I found their website, and it said on their website that they were looking for cancer patients who were interested in psilocybin therapy. And I figured, oh boy, I found some place that's doing a clinical trial, right?
Yeah, of course. No.
But they're not.
Yeah.
But they were a place that were able to assist me getting a Section 56, which I'd never even heard of at that time I was like, okay, well, I get this, and then I can legally access the mushrooms. Now, to be really clear, like right out of the get-go, I've got end of life anxiety. I don't want to be buying illegal mushrooms from the dude on the corner, because the last thing I need is to, survive cancer and die from fentanyl poisoning or something, right?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you next, and you clarified that. Okay. So that was
Yeah.
on your mind at the time.
Oh yeah,
very much.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, might be funny. I'm very focused on living. So I applied for the Section 56 exemption. It took something like 106 days for the minister to respond, but much to everyone's surprise, I was granted my exemption. And so that was on, I believe, August the 4th. And I grew my own mushrooms. So totally
Did
legal.
they provide the spores?
No.
You had to buy them yourself, because spores are legal.
Spores are legal.
So
I went online, I found a grow kit, and grew my own magic mushrooms.
That's what they told you to do. That's what they actually said. So that's
Health
how
Canada?
the exemption. Yeah, like
no.
Oh, okay.
No, what Health Canada actually says is they do not endorse the use of this for any purpose.
Of course, I understand that, but I'm saying for the exception, though, when they gave you this exception.
Right. So they asked me where I was going to get the psilocybin from, and I told them that I was going to be growing my own.
You felt comfortable with growing your own?
Yeah.
You can't really mess up, I guess.
Well, I'm actually a medicinal cannabis user.
Okay.
So I've been using cannabis since I got cancer, and
great.
It works fantastic for the chemo symptoms. So pretty comfortable growing things.
Okay.
I grew up on a farm, so I mean, growing stuff is not that complicated for me.
Yeah, like it's just for me, I would be. My dad's a huge gardener and stuff and everything, but I know someone that grew their own from spores and stuff too. But I'm like, what if I do it wrong? I'd be anxious about my own, which is funny. I guess it's almost similar with my cooking. I'm more anxious about my cooking than if someone else cooks it for me. Okay, so you grew them yourself. They gave you the option, but what were the other options?
There weren't any options.
So they said, how are you going to get it? And they knew damn well you had no way to get it. And so they were hoping maybe that you wouldn't even, you'd have to.
They did not and do not provide anything source.
And Dr. Masuda or whoever is involved, they have to be like, you have to figure it out and then come back to us, basically.
Yeah. My first session wasn't actually Dr. Masuda. It was Dr. Bruce Tobin. He's like the founder of Theraso.
Okay. I don't know that name yet, but actually I do know that name.
Yeah.
Tobin. Yeah. Okay. I know that name. Yeah.
So Bruce, obviously I got the first exemption, and I'm going to be the first person in Canada to legally use them. And I think Bruce really wanted to be a part of that, because he's been pushing to get access for years, a couple of years before I was even aware that it was a thing
or needed it.
Yeah. And so he volunteered to come here to Saskatoon from BC.
Wow.
And do my therapy session.
Okay, so just before you move on to that part, if you don't mind, well, first of all, how did you find Therapsil? Was it like specifically that moment? I'm just curious. How on earth was it? Just constant Googling, and it was a Google search query? It was no sponsorship. It was just by chance you finally stumbled on this page.
I am the luckiest person that I know.
Yeah, clearly.
I find the people that I need when I need them.
Jeez.
And I found Therapsil.
Because you understand websites, you understand all this stuff more than I do. But I'm assuming that they didn't have, they have all these types of things. They don't have like unlimited money to just put advertisements out there and do this and do that. So was it on the first page of Google even?
You know,
I'm just curious.
I
Don't even remember.
I was doing so many searches.
Yeah. Okay. Who knows?
I
So it
couldn't
was
tell
deep,
you
but it was deep.
specifically.
So it was deep in there. It wasn't something that an average person would quickly find.
I wouldn't think so. I
Okay. And
mean,
then,
obviously they are now,
yeah,
but
yes,
at that time, no.
yes. Okay. And they had been looking for people.
Yes.
You're the first exemption. Had they
Yes.
had other people that they like tried and got rejected
There were 4 of us who had
at the same time
exemptions in. I was actually the 4th of
of the
those people. So
okay.
there were 3 other people who had exemptions in progress when I found Therasil and
Got it.
started my exemption.
Got it. Okay.
I just happened to be a lot more yappy and out there. So when
Good.
I did my exemption application, it wasn't just, filling out an application. I also had videos that I was sending to the minister to say, hey,
Wow.
it's been months since I sent this in. Do something about this, right? And so I think I'm a little more vocal and pushy than the previous applications had been. And oh, we're about to get some barking.
That's okay. I gave my dog a bully stick to keep busy there in this period too, as you would have heard mine.
Maybe not. My son
What
is
kind
just
of dog?
getting home. So
What kind of dog is it?
Ellie is actually a certified mega mutt. She's a
Mega
rescue
mutt.
dog.
Oh, nice.
So we got the genetic testing done on her to find out what she is. And the place that does the testing actually gave us a full refund because she is so mixed they can't tell us what she is. And they literally gave us a certificate that says certified mega mutt.
No way. That's
so, yeah. Apparently something like 1 out of every 100,000 dogs that they test.
Or a mega.
Yeah. Is that mixed. So
well, I went the opposite route. Mine is very precisely a Jack Russell Terrier from Saskatchewan, actually. So he's yeah. Well, it's my first dog though. So, but I'm happy to hear that. Anyways, we're getting off track. I don't want to take up your whole day.
I'm fine.
So,
yeah. So
no.
incidentally, I have as much time as you have. So
okay.
Don't worry about that.
Okay. So no, you were saying about what was it? I was asking you how you found
right.
the website.
So
are you sending videos to the minister? Yeah.
Right. And so after a little bit of pressuring on the minister, after 106 days, they granted the exemption. And so I had my mushrooms in progress, and Bruce contacted me to say that he would come out here. We're doing the pre-therapy sessions. So the psilocybin therapy goes in 3 parts. So there's the pre-sessions, the psychedelic session, and then the integration sessions afterwards.
Okay. Can I ask something about that?
Of course.
Have you done therapy before? Prior to this psychotherapy, as we call it, I guess.
Not really, no.
Okay. And
I mean, I've when I was in college, I would talk to one of the counselors and things, but not really therapy like this.
Yeah, I ask because a lot of people in my life have therapists, and they are very much like big believers, and that's life-changing. I was looking for a therapist, and then I actually stumbled upon some mushroom situation, and I end up doing some therapy myself. That's not to say that therapy is not useful and that I won't use it, but I ask because I wonder what, in terms of the intro session, how much different would it be? And I don't know if that's a question that you'd be able to answer, but therapy is therapy in one sense. But this is psychotherapy, and there's a lot more going on with it. Could you tell me a little bit about what would be different, or if it's very similar in that intro session?
Yeah. So key differences between the preparatory therapy and just regular talk therapy. the preparatory therapy also includes the element of things that you can expect from the psychedelic session, strategies that you can use during the psychedelic session if you run into a difficult
Understood.
spot.
Got it. Okay.
And the
Yes.
idea of setting intentions.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
elements like that, which of
that's what it
course
is.
would not be present in regular talk therapy, in addition to a lot of
Therapy.
the standard talk therapy
Yes.
as well.
Talking about, yeah. Okay. Got it. How long was the session?
Um, let's say an hour a piece for about 4 sessions prior to doing the psilocybin.
So for Dr. Tobin to come to Saskatchewan in the middle of a pandemic was also a little bit difficult, maybe, or bold.
For him, yeah.
Yeah, because he could have done it virtually too, I guess.
Well,
I
the
don't know if
therapy
that's...
sessions, yes. We did all of those virtually.
Oh, you did? Okay. You did
Yeah.
do all of them virtually. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so he just came out here for the
Or the
psilocybin session.
psilocybin session. Okay. And it was just him and you?
No, actually, I was really cognizant that I was the first person to ever do this legally in Canada. So I wanted to make sure the experience was documented really
Yes.
well.
Love it.
So I actually had a videographer here and filmed the entire from start to finish.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Has that been shown anywhere, or pieces of it, or is that... I'm just...
it is currently being used as a training video for training new therapists. Part of Therasil's training.
I saw that. I saw they're doing one in May, so they're going to use your video, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
And quite often I will do a Zoom call with the therapists in training after they have a chance to see the video and answer their questions and stuff like that. So
with the practitioner, sorry?
With the practitioners, yeah.
With the practitioner. Wow, that's awesome. That's just, that's part of this is why, you're here. This is all the things you're doing and you've gone through. And I know we're not even done everything, but the story, but my goodness, this is what you were meant to do. This is not the nerding out and the website stuff or apps. It's that it's just so beautiful to see that you are like such a resource for these practitioners who are, I'm sure, nervous, also, passionate about it, because I'm sure that not everyone is doing this. So anyways, I just wanted to add that note. That's amazing that you filmed it and you're sharing it and you're doing these calls with those people. Those calls are way more important than mine. So me sitting here again, thank you, means a lot.
Yeah,
got it. So
it's
anyways,
for the record, I tell people that I am the luckiest person that I know, and that's a fact. I am, and because I am so lucky, and I have been really so blessed with everything in my life, I feel like I have to give back.
Yes. I feel very lucky in so many ways too, in totally different ways than you, with my family immigrating here and me being born here and all these other things too, and having right now health and stuff. I want to ask you, before we go into the psilocybin experience, are you religious, or were you religious prior to any of that stuff?
I don't consider myself religious. I would consider myself spiritual.
Yeah, it's often I hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, the word religion, I would consider your standard religions to be more systems of control. Whereas for me, the concept of spirituality is more my place in the universe, and why are we here?
Yes. Okay.
What is a meaningful life?
You're talking my language for sure right now.
Yeah.
Before your prognosis and cancer, had you thought much about death?
Not really. No, because before that, we're all immortal and invulnerable. And
well, did you think about death for your parents or your grandparents ever? Did you think about, like, was there ever any extended thought about it, or was like, oh, I want to enjoy the time I have with them and not much
Yeah,
deeper thought?
you know, before I got cancer, I had all of my parents. So, my wife comes from a divorced family, and both of her parents remarried. So, I had like six parents, and
Interesting.
they were all alive, and
Interesting.
everybody was well. And so the idea of death and loss was not something that I even encountered in my daily thoughts at all.
So if you were sitting um at a bar or whatever you might be, and someone asks you, what do you think happens to you when you die? And this is pre-cancer,
Mm.
what would your have answer been?
You know, and that's one of these things that I experienced with psilocybin.
Of course, yes.
The the idea of death and life after death to me was what I would call academic.
Mhm.
So the way that I describe that for people is you can tell somebody about the taste of chocolate, right?
Yes.
You can tell them about the sweetness, and you can tell them about the texture and the way that it
Yes.
melts in your mouth, and uh, you can describe the qualities of the flavor of chocolate. Or you can just give somebody a piece of chocolate.
Yes. Yes.
And so when I say the idea of life after death was academic, I can read about it, and I can read about near death experiences and what other people have experienced.
Mhm.
And that'll tell you what they experienced without ever having any of that
Yes.
incorporated as who you are. That really dramatically changed for me after psilocybin.
Okay. So before, though, just so I'm clear, if somebody asks, because I ask these type of weird questions to random people,
For
I end up
sure.
having really weird, like, I'm saying in a general sense, I can meet someone and I'll be like, we get somewhere deep in a conversation. If somebody
Yep.
asked you back then, you would just say, I don't know, and I don't really care, I guess. Is that kind of what you're saying? Or you'd say, oh,
I would
I hope that
say
we live on.
I would say I think there is probably life after death, but I couldn't tell you what that looks like.
And you didn't really care to
Well,
know about it, I guess.
it's not that I didn't care about it, it's that I didn't have an answer for it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Understood.
Um, I based on reading, like I say, near death experiences and things like that, I think it's reasonable to assume that um, life after death might be a thing. Not
Got it.
sure, but a lot of people have reported on things that I think are convincing enough that there must be something to it.
Got it. Okay. So now we move on to, you went through the first session or first few. It's just, you said there was four before the psilocybin, or just one session before the psilocybin?
There's about four.
Four. Okay. So there's four and I guess to summarize those, what you're saying was it was regular
Preparatory.
therapy and
Yep,
mixed with preparing for the different avenues that this experience can take you to, and how to
for
get
sure.
out.
And I'm also, of course, being the professional nerd, doing all the research that I possibly can, looking
Of
for
course.
videos of people talking about their
Yeah.
experiences on psychedelics, and reading about people's experiences using them, and things like that. So I have an expectation of what they experienced.
Got it. And they were self-medicating, of course, all of
Of
these
course.
people you watched.
Yeah.
Did you find that there was a lot of content when you were searching for it to watch
I've
people's stories?
I found that a lot of people were talking about um, uh, meeting their dead relatives,
Yes.
or reliving experiences from their childhoods, becoming different, spirit animals, or facing frightening things. So a lot of things that to me sounded to have very dreamlike qualities,
Yeah.
but experiences like that.
Were you happy with what you found in terms of, I ask it in a sense that maybe you're watching these videos. I'm assuming videos, but maybe you're reading literature too,
Both.
I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
So of people's stories
Yep.
of whatever it was. Obviously my perception of the searching and stuff, algorithms and stuff, they give me what I would want to see. And I probably will see a lot of younger people talking about their trips and whatever else, also in a more professional way, of course.
Mhm.
Or did you find that you when I say, are you happy with the content you were finding, were you finding that people were your age and your demographic, or was it a lot of people that were younger that were talking about it? Because I feel, I'm making assumptions here, I feel like maybe it'd be
Yeah.
harder to find someone like yourself, your age and your situation in your country talking about this stuff on YouTube or sharing
Right.
their story.
So I found nobody in my situation,
That's what I thought.
and very difficult to find any content, specifically, with people, a video of somebody having a trip. Do you have any idea how hard it is to find that?
There's more now. There's a lot now.
More now.
Yeah,
But,
back then.
back in 2019, 2020, very little.
Mhm.
There's a gentleman who's got a channel on YouTube called Psyched Substance.
I think I know it. Yeah, I've seen all these ones now. But
And,
yeah.
he's a guy who has done a lot of psychedelics. And
Yes, that guy. Yeah, I've seen him. He's yeah.
I watched a lot of his videos.
Yes.
I found some of the original videos using LSD testing back in Humboldt, Saskatchewan,
I know that city, and not for obviously
with Humphrey
Yeah.
Osmond's work.
Yeah.
So I found some of that, and so that was really about the extent of what I could find for people actually experiencing
Got it.
psychedelics on film.
Got it.
So I had sort of an expectation of what that experience might be like.
Mhm.
I have to tell you, my experience with psychedelics was nothing like any of that.
Wow.
Like,
Okay.
nothing like it at all.
And so
Which,
just to set this up, because I think we're going to talk about that experience now. You were there, Dr. Bruce was there,
Yep.
videographers were there. Where was this? Your house?
Here at my house. Yep.
And was your family nearby, or did they leave the house, or did they go in a different room?
My wife was off at work, and my kids were at school.
They knew you were doing it that day.
Oh yeah,
obviously. So they were giving. Okay, so it was just
so
business as usual.
I'm set up in our guest bedroom. I'm sitting on the bed. I got Dr. Tobin on one side. I've got the videographers down at the end of the bed there filming, and I've got a good friend of mine who is experienced with ayahuasca there to sit with me on my journey. He's also my hospice volunteer, so he's been around and takes me to my chemo appointments and stuff. Good friend.
Great. Awesome.
And so my dog is sitting on the bed there, keeping me company. Wow. And so then I start taking my psilocybin.
5 grams is what I understand is what they give.
Actually, for my first trip, I did 7.
Oh my goodness. That's what they call like heroic dose, I think, in the community.
Yeah. So
you knew that was, you knew 7 grams was.
Yeah. So I took it in a stepped dose over about an hour and a half.
Okay.
So took 2.5 grams. 45 minutes later, I took another 2.5, and then 45 minutes after that, I took another 2.
Okay.
So hour and a half, 7 grams.
I believe I saw a video of it reenacted or something, but were you wearing a blindfold? I remember seeing something like that.
Yeah. So take the psilocybin and put on blindfold, my earbuds.
This is all directed. This is what you were told to do, or this is what you said you wanted to do?
That is the protocol that they were doing at
Okay.
Johns Hopkins.
Okay. So that's okay. Got it.
We're following that protocol because that's what's been successful for other cancer patients.
Got it. Okay. So now it's coming up and you're feeling
Right.
something?
So for the first little while there, while the psilocybin is coming on, I was not really sure how much of the experience I would be able to remember, because I hear talk about this idea of ego death.
Yes.
And so for me, I'm thinking ego death means, I cease to exist, and
Yes.
maybe I'm just not really going to remember much of the experience.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to talk about what I'm experiencing as I'm experiencing it for the first little while there. And the music is a very synesthetic experience for me.
The
So
music that you had in your headphones,
yes,
and the music was picked by you?
mostly Johns Hopkins playlist. So
I see. What is it? Or type of
a lot of
music?
classical.
Classical. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Not my first choice in music, but that is what they were doing for their.
What would you have listened to, just out of curiosity? What do you listen to?
Well, when I
Music-wise?
am doing higher doses of cannabis, and I find cannabis to be kind of anxiety inducing, honestly,
Can be. Yeah.
I'll listen to things like a group called Hang Massive, for example.
Okay.
They're pan drums.
Okay.
Okay.
No
I will
vocals.
listen to no vocals. No.
Okay.
So instrumental music without vocals, or if there is vocals in different language.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You're saying in these type of settings. Okay. I was just curious what you would have picked in your playlist if you were to pick it.
that's what I
Got it.
pick in my playlist.
But you're listening to some classical. You've got it. You've got the.
Yeah, I'm actually for the first couple hours I'm listening to my own music. So
Okay.
um,
And then
let's
you
see.
tell them, hey, I'm feeling something, or when did it transition? When did the music change?
When my playlist was up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I was actually well on my journey. Probably stopped for a bathroom break or something like that, and we switched over to the Johns Hopkins after that. But a lot of what I listen to is folktronica,
Okay.
neo-shamanic folktronica. It's traditional chants and things that are set with some modern beats and stuff.
Nice.
You know what? Just for shits and giggles, I will throw you a link in the chat. How about that?
Do it. Yeah. I think that music, as many things, but music can be very spiritual in itself as well. And I think that it comes from like vibrations that we feel before we're born, right? It's very interesting. And I also was curious. That's why I was curious, because when you're going through such an extreme experience, that will also alter the experience, right?
For sure. That is what I was listening to.
This is what you were listening to before this is John Hopkins one. This is the John Hopkins.
This is not on the Johns Hopkins playlist. No, this is what I was listening to as the psilocybin, the initial part of my journey.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I just skipped to like 7 minutes in, but okay, I get the idea. That's nice. That's so soothing and relaxing.
It is, and it's I like to meditate to this, actually.
Nice. Wow. And so, I guess meditation, did you do meditating before cancer? You did?
Yeah. Not so much before the cancer.
Okay.
The meditation is something that I have picked up because of all the cannabis that I do. So, I mean, I don't just like vape cannabis. I do concentrated oil.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I don't know if you've heard of like the Rick Simpson protocol for dealing with cancer, but that is ingesting like up to uh, 1 gram of high THC oil
One
a day.
gram. Oh,
So
wow. That's because 100 milligrams, and that's 1,000 milligrams
yes,
a day. And you're on it right now?
um, not right at the moment. No, when I
Okay.
do chemo, yes.
Okay. Sorry. Understood. But you, okay. Understood.
Yeah, if I was on that much right now, I would be tripping balls.
Well, I
That's
was
a
gonna
lot.
say, I've done my fair share of cannabis, and in different ways, including like oils type of stuff. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
yeah. Yeah. So that's what I was wondering. Okay, so that's only when you're doing chemo, otherwise it's
yeah. So
less than.
I do probably 25 milligrams of THC every 3 to 4 hours when I'm on chemo.
Okay. Crazy. Okay. And that's
So
that was
that that
legal,
is
at least too, when you're doing
it's totally legal,
that. Okay.
yeah. But it's a
Was.
really intense experience, and so that is where I learned how to meditate
Wow.
very
Interesting.
deeply to get through that.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
So
Um,
I take 7 grams of mushrooms and I meditate while it comes on, and I'm listening to that soundtrack while I'm doing it.
wow. Okay.
And so it becomes very synesthetic. The uh, the different tracks of music are creating these environments, and so what it feels like is each piece of music creates a different universe, and as these universes come into existence, my consciousness just becomes those universes.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I'm not hanging out in that space. I am that space.
Crazy.
So
Were you
for
uncomfortable?
it was a really good experience.
In the moment, were you scared? What was your emotion? Happiness, extreme, like what was, you must have been feeling something, right?
Um, well, Thomas didn't exist, and so
Wow.
a lot of the emotional stuff that you would associate with this life didn't exist either.
Wow. Okay.
Um, but I did have this realization while I was there. Um, I noted that I did not feel any discomfort or sadness while I was there. The only place pain or unhappiness exists is here.
Wow.
None of that existed there. So for me, my consciousness like transitioned from being Thomas to other.
Okay.
And there were still conscious experiences to be had, but they didn't have anything to do with this life, or this universe for that matter. I didn't even think about the fact that I had a family, let alone be able to recall what their faces looked like or what their names were. That didn't exist there. But the transition of consciousness from one state to another state was a continuous sort of a thing. And for me, the idea that my consciousness could exist in a way that had nothing to do with this physical body was perhaps a sample of what life after death could be like, because prior to that I had no idea of how could I possibly exist without this body. running things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I now have this pretty solid understanding that consciousness can exist in different forms. So for me, I now have this idea that this is an experience that I'm having. There is an experience of being a tree. There is an experience of being my dog. There is an experience of being a rock.
Mm-hmm.
These are all experiences, and they're different from each other. And I think that consciousness, as we understand it, is very limited in our way we think about it. Consciousness doesn't have to be a thinking, sentient thing. It's just experience.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And so it sounds, you said that it wasn't like everyone else's though. It sounds similar to what I would expected.
Yeah,
Can you
I
elaborate on what was different?
didn't meet anybody, didn't meet
Okay.
any entities.
Okay.
Everything that I experienced was me,
Got it.
just me.
Okay.
So every universe that I experienced, I was everything that existed. There
Okay.
wasn't anybody to talk to. There wasn't anything to do. There wasn't anything but just me.
Interesting. And in this time, you've obviously replayed this video of all of what was happening on Earth in that moment. You've reviewed it. A question about that is, were you sitting up? Were you lying down?
I initially was sitting while I was meditating during the onset, and after that, I lay down and pulled the covers up. A little bit of difficulty with chills and shivering and stuff, trying to regulate my body temperature while on psilocybin. That's a pretty common thing for me.
And there was, just in terms of doctors and stuff, from what I understand in these sessions, there's more than a 1-to-1 ratio usually.
Mhm.
So were they like monitoring your blood pressure? Were they doing all these sorts of other, what were they doing anything?
I checked my blood pressure a couple of times during the session, and checked the pulse ox and things like that, just to.
In the middle of the trip?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
do you remember thinking, or did they nudge you and say, hey, what triggered
So
a check?
I was aware that I had a body, and I came back to check on it once in a while, kind of in the same way you would check on like a house plant or a pet, right?
Wow.
It
That's
was
crazy.
it was something separate from me,
Yeah.
but I was aware of it.
Got it.
And so I actually found it fairly easy to transition between the psilocybin space and regular space, just taking off the blindfold and the headphones whenever I had to stop for like a bathroom break or something like that.
Everyone's looking at you, surrounding you, watching you. What was that? What was going on?
They're just hanging out.
Okay. Did it I donate blood sometimes, and I donated blood, and I had a new person doing it. I also probably didn't eat enough beforehand. Anyways, I passed out. I've never passed out before. Anyways, I woke up and I had like all these people surrounded me, right, looking at me. In all of this happening, you knew your body, you knew you had a body and all that other stuff. You also knew you were going through a psychotherapy session throughout all this, so you knew your surroundings, were like what it was, the context of it.
Well, when I was under the deepest part of the experience, then the room and everything else gone.
Yeah.
But if I chose to be present, then of course I was present.
Okay, understood. Okay, got it. So moving along there, you went through this, you saw all of this. I guess now you're starting to come down at some point, or is there anything more that you were going to share?
Yeah. So the night before I did the psychedelic, we did standard psychometric testing.
Which is
Testing for where you are on the anxiety scale, depression scale,
how do they do
despondency.
that? Is that just a survey or like a?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's a standard test they do
Got it.
for
Okay.
to find out where people are on these different scales.
Yeah.
My anxiety scale was sitting at 36 out of 50. So that's considered very high.
Okay.
And the day after my psilocybin, I scored a 6.
Wow.
So 36 to 6. And
you, the whole world looked different around you, I guess, right? The way that you look at everything and feel.
Yeah. So for me, the anxiety really manifests as like noise in my head.
Yes.
You know, I use stories to describe things for people, and for me, the anxiety is like you're sitting in your car, and it's summertime, and you're stuck in rush hour traffic, and it's hot, and it's dusty, and the windows are down, and horns are blaring outside, and it's noisy and hot and unpleasant, and there might be a song on the radio, but you can't really pay attention to it because of how miserable you're feeling. And after my psilocybin, you may still be sitting in the car, but now the windows are up and the air conditioning is on and it's quiet and you've got all the time in the world and it's just you and your favorite song on the radio, right? Wow. It's like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've gone through this experience and I still have cancer, and
yes,
it hasn't changed the outcome at all.
Yes.
But now, instead of being focused on the misery of it mm-hmm. and the discomfort and the impending doom of things, I'm now realizing that being present and actually living my life while I still have it is something that I can actually appreciate on a daily basis. So
that's incredible. I'm just breathing it out too, just like soaking in what you said. There are so many other treatments that are legal with no exemptions mm-hmm. that exist today.
Yep.
I also want to say I watched one of the videos, I think it was a Therapsil one, like this Zoom call or something, where you shared that you have the ability to I forgot the word, but basically pull the plug, right? Where you can assistive death. Sorry. You said you have access.
Right.
You said that you have the
system,
right.
Right.
You have the right to that. You shared in the video.
Yep.
You don't have the right in this moment, I guess, to have a psilocybin legally assisted psychotherapy mm-hmm. legally. And you were saying that you have all these other options. There are other options that people can take. First of all, you didn't try any other treatment for this, for your end of life anxiety, correct? You didn't try anything else.
I have used like the cognitive behavioral stuff. I have tried talking.
DBT?
Yeah.
Like therapy? Okay.
Yeah. I have used antidepressants at other times in my life. So I am fully aware of what they do. Pre-cancer.
Pre-cancer. Okay. Yeah.
And none of that was the answer.
Yes. I'm more so thinking about all the other people that are in your situation that are maybe not as savvy and of course in 2022 things are changing. It looks to be very much like it's way more mainstream now, which is great. But I guess what I'm asking is all these other treatments and stuff like that, they are all just There's CBT, I guess. There's other medication that you can take during therapy or without therapy, and you take it every day and you live your life, and then there's a side effects of it. That's what this is, right? Those are the only other options other than, I guess, yeah, CBT, right? Meditation or something else. And those are the two options you have if it's not psilocybin. In a general sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you came out of this, you're looking around, things look better. Things feel, you feel more optimistic about the moment, and you feel so much better. The effects of psilocybin, from what I understand, can last forever.
For some people, they do.
Or enough that it's not a daily occurrence, of course, but I think you can go months without feeling. And then my experience, I experienced some benefits for months, upwards of a year. And I have not done as much as, like, in terms of a dose. I've never done a very high dose like that. So first of all, you are now looking for another, you were looking for another exemption. And I don't know if I'm skipping far ahead here, but have you done any other treatments since the first one?
I have done a total of 6 legal treatments.
And how far apart were they?
I find they last me between 3 and 6 months.
Got it. So you did one in August, was it, of 2020, the first one?
Yep. And the results of that were like so dramatic for me. I had a really tough time accepting that it was that good. So I did a second treatment about 3 months after that one.
What do you mean you had trouble accepting that it was that good? You didn't. What do you mean? I don't understand.
Exactly that. The treatment was so good and gave me so much relief so quickly and effectively that I was almost in a state of denial over its effectiveness. I couldn't
Too good to be
believe.
true.
Yeah, too good to be true.
This is fake. Somebody's cast a spell on me.
I'm messing with my own head.
Yeah.
And
so you started to get, was this a bad thing? You started to feel bad?
Oh, I did. Yeah. And had my second treatment about 3 months after the first. And the second one was essentially like a slap in the forehead for me. Like, yeah, dummy, it really is that good. And so I was good for months after that. I had my third treatment towards the end of my exemption.
Okay. How long was the exemption for?
1 year.
And in those 1 year, you could do as many as you wanted?
Yeah.
You could do as many as you wanted in that time?
Yes.
Now, of course,
within the conditions of the exemption, and the main condition for that governing how many times I could do it would be I have to have a medical practitioner present.
Of course.
So, and
sorry to interrupt you there. You were saying to me when we spoke just on Facebook over Messenger, that flying to Vancouver, you mentioned that. Did you have to, understand that Dr. Tobin came to you the first time. Was it always in the comfort of your own home, all those treatments, or would you have to come here to Vancouver?
The first few treatments was here at my home. Was not always Dr. Tobin present for it. So I had cleared that with Health Canada that I didn't necessarily have to have a doctor present as long as it was a medical practitioner. It's more of a safety thing.
Of course.
So in case I ran into any medical difficulty during,
of course, and you want the peace of mind of that, of course, too. In terms of this is a clinical trial, correct? Or was this just an exemption? This wasn't a clinical trial.
No.
So what's the difference between a clinical trial versus what would they have done differently?
So there's 3 different ways of being able to access psilocybin therapy. There is the exemption. So that is patient-centric. Okay. So the patient applies for the exemption. The patient has to find the psilocybin.
So literally that was how you did it then. I thought when you said that you filed the application that Dr. Tobin or someone or your you did everything.
That's me. Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to find the psilocybin. I'm responsible for storing it and how much I administer, finding a therapist, all of that. That's all on the patient. Okay. But the upside is you can do the therapy anytime during the year that you need it.
Got it.
Now, the second way is through the Special Access Program, or
I've
what they
seen
call
that
the
now.
SAP.
Well, it sounds like that's what they're moving towards now. There's no more
Right.
exemptions.
I haven't heard of people getting exemptions.
That's what I'm seeing in the
anymore,
research.
so
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Okay.
the SAP is doctor driven.
Yeah. Okay.
So doctor fills out the 8-page application, doctor finds a psilocybin, doctor responsible for administering it, storing it, reporting back on the treatment to Health Canada.
Okay.
Those ones are for each individual treatment.
Okay.
So
wow, form for every single time.
Every single time. So I have participated under 2 special access programs.
Okay, so that's part of the 6 that you mentioned.
Yes.
Okay, so 4 in that first year, and then after that year exemption was expired, you got to use the SAP.
Yes.
Okay, and there's a third way.
The third way is under a clinical trial.
Okay.
So clinical trials, I have not done it under a clinical trial. So I guess there's technically 4 ways you can legally do it.
Okay.
Clinical trials, of course, are under specific conditions. And I guess those conditions are governed by what the clinical trial is actually testing for. So clinical trials are geared towards testing the efficacy of a treatment.
Mm-hmm.
So you could get a placebo, you could get the regular thing, you could have to go on a microdosing regime, you could you would have to adhere to the conditions of whatever that clinical trial is, whether that is your most effective treatment protocol or not.
Got it. Are there clinical trials happening for psilocybin in Canada?
I am aware that there are a couple that exist. I have no idea how to contact them or how one would get involved in that.
Okay.
They are really uncommon.
Okay, understood. So SAC, yeah, go ahead.
The fourth way, and that would be the one missing session that I had. I didn't have access to SAP at that time, and I didn't have a Section 56. So I went to Jamaica, where it is legal.
Oh, wow. I didn't know it was legal there.
Yeah. And I actually know someone who has psilocybin retreats that they do in Jamaica.
You know them?
Yes.
You know them because you went there, or you knew them before that?
I knew them before that.
How?
I have a little bit of celebrity. People contact me.
Oh, they found you through that. They found you like I found you, kind of thing.
Yes.
Oh, well, there you go. See, this is why you make me nervous when I'm sitting here in front of you. Now I'm nervous again. Oh my God.
No,
I'm just joking. Okay, cool. So you went to Jamaica.
I went to Jamaica,
and they invited you. They invited you to come.
Yes.
And what was in it for them here? In terms of like, what was their motive? Obviously, they want to get.
I am a fairly experienced person in terms of what is effective for psychedelic therapy.
Okay.
And so I was able to give them a good review of their practices down there and ways that they could potentially improve their delivery and efficacy.
So now we've been talking for a while, so maybe in 15 minutes we should probably end it and we can talk more, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
But I'm enjoying this conversation so much, so I don't want it to end. But and then my little lamp, you can still see me a little bit, but I look darker because my lamp battery died, and I'm not gonna stop to still get it. But so you took it, you've done it 6 times. What I'm trying to now think about from your perspective, just your perspective here in your situation. Right now you waited, what was it? How many days until they denied your request? Sorry, what was it? It was 100?
511.
So
18 months.
18 months, which by
Mm,
the way was your prognosis to begin with.
exactly.
And that's your whole point of what you're saying. People are waiting and not even having a chance,
Yeah.
which is
And I know people who have died before they've had a chance to have the medicine. I personally know people that this has happened to.
and I guess for you, you've done it now. You know how to grow them. You trust
Yep.
your own system. Um, and maybe you're not. Maybe you're not. I don't know what the rules are behind all this, but could you not, in theory, just say, "Well, I'm going to grow my own, and I'm going to do some myself,"
Mhm.
and I guess what's the answer to that? Can you just go ahead and just do them? I mean, not can you legally? Why
Yeah.
are you not doing that, or are you not saying?
I guess functionally, yes, I could totally do that. I could grow some more mushrooms. I've been through enough sessions that I think I could probably handle things on my own with a sitter quite comfortably. Uh, I could likely even get a therapeutic benefit out of that.
Mhm.
The point for me is, why would I allow Health Canada
Yes.
to force me into a situation where I have to get the best care illegally? So for me, I believe it's kind of Health Canada's responsibility
Mm-hmm.
to deliver the best health care available to Canadians. They should be looking for ways to make access to this treatment
Mm-hmm.
easier for the people who need it, as opposed to more difficult.
When did you go to Jamaica? Last year?
That would be September, September of
Last year.
last year.
Wow. Okay. So September last year. Before that, how long had you gone without a treatment? I guess the whole
April.
Oh, you went in
I went from April to September.
April because you said 18 months you were rejected. Did you have an SAP for April?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So April was the first SAP that was done in Canada.
Okay.
I was a part of that too.
Got it.
Then went to Jamaica in September, and I participated in another SAP in the October after that.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now you're in a good spot in terms of the treatment situation.
I'm not doing too bad in terms of how long it's been since my last treatment. I'm
Yeah.
expecting that I will probably be thinking about it again in like April or May.
Very soon. Okay. So you're doing this now to again help more people more than yourself because
Yep.
you have so many different avenues now that you could do this and you're not as nervous about the experience and the anxiety associated with the treatment.
Mhm.
There must be dozens, hundreds, thousands of people in this country
Thousands.
that thousands of people that are looking for this treatment. And we are only talking about end of life anxiety, but we aren't talking about PTSD, trauma from the past, and all these other things, which have not been given any exemption at this time, correct?
There are, I know of at least some people who have been treated for treatment-resistant depression with psilocybin
Treatment,
under
what
an
is it? Treatment.
SAP.
Okay. Treatment resistant, what did you
Depression.
say? Treatment resistant depression. So they've been given treatment, it didn't work. So then okay. That's what I'm assuming this is. Okay. Okay. So there's been a few of those
Yes,
essays and when you that you're aware of. Sorry.
that I'm aware of.
And those are SAPs. I keep wanting to say SAC. I don't know why.
Yeah.
SAPs and the SAP, the program started only last year, right? Because it's new.
Yes.
So this is recent. Okay. So I guess a couple of things now. I guess I'll frame this and like summarize a bunch of things here just and then we can just break it down. I think that yes, first of all, I love that you're doing this. again, I can't thank you enough. There's all these thousands of people that are looking for access that at least now, because of people like yourself, they can do a quick Google search and it's on the first page of Google. And they might have even heard about it in conversations around them. We know that there's people waiting. They're not getting any access. There's minor, like you said, there's very few other for depression. There's been a couple other things, but there's so many other possible benefits of psilocybin. We're starting to see the world change its perception of mushrooms and psilocybin, in terms of like even Oregon now has started. I think Oregon is just allowed clinical trials, I believe.
Yeah, I think Australia is legalizing as well.
Wow. Okay, legalizing. That's crazy.
Yep.
So, with all that said, I guess try to frame the question in a way that I get the answer that I want. I guess, like, first of all, you've been on Earth for longer than me. You've seen things that I haven't seen, and you've experienced things I haven't experienced. It sounds to me like, first of all, there's a lot of bureaucracy and red tape that is just unnecessary. That's preventing this. Would you agree? Preventing the lead, right?
I would agree. Yeah.
And then you have money that's involved at stake for other pharmaceutical companies, which is like such a taboo subject, I guess, right? Nobody wants to say that.
It seems a little weird. Yes. Personally, I think big pharma should be going head to head with big insurance. Big insurance is paying those bills.
Yeah. So you have like, I don't like the tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, all these other things, right? You have the community that thinks that, all this is like, there's a community that thinks that cancer isn't real, or cancer, sorry, it's not that it's not real, that it's curable, and that it's hidden, right? There's all this, and I'm not here to talk about any of that stuff. We have to deal with the reality we're here with, obviously, but there's people that have all these different thoughts on different things. And then there's all this anti-government, or there's anti this and there's anti that. So it's a little bit taboo to say, oh, well, maybe it's money related and big pharma related. But like you said, there's multiple gears to it. So you have that as why we haven't seen any progress. And then you have also companies that are like Numinous and Field Trip Health, which I think is a US company. I've started like following all these companies, but it sounds like, and this is also from a chat with Dr. Masuda, there's no money in a one-time treatment, especially with something you can grow at home. Now, you can say that about cannabis years ago, and now people, I mean, I don't grow my own cannabis, so most people don't. So there's still a market for it. And it's essential, mind you, when we had our shutdown. Like what I'm saying is there's these microdosing stuff going on, which is clearly, from what I understand, may be beneficial, may not be. We don't know yet. It is, you would say? You're saying it is?
I know many people who have microdosed and have reported good results from it.
Okay, so it works. Again, money and all these different things. These companies are going after investors, going, hey, blah, blah, blah. And the business practice sounds like it's not a very smart business practice on a general sense to start a psilocybin company, because unless you're getting residual income and et cetera, you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying. It's like companies that exist might be doing it for the wrong reasons, might not give us what we actually want, or what people like yourself want. What are your thoughts on that whole situation? Like, do you think it's...
It is a kind of the current pharmaceutical model is more of a way of renting your health. So it's based on ongoing treatment. So, continuous treatment that deals with symptoms rather than curing the source. Yes. That's true for a lot of medications out there. Yes. That's just the way that they work it. Whereas psilocybin therapy, while it can deliver more lasting relief, to a lot of people. I think the focus on that, if you were looking for a money-making model, should be based on the delivery of the therapeutic service as opposed to the drug. So the drug is just a tool in the therapeutic toolbox. But the larger profit, I think, would be in the actual delivery of the therapy. Still a, generally speaking, temporary situation, as opposed to the pharmaceutical model, which is generally for the rest of your life. But, for me, I see the larger picture societal benefit of actually delivering people who have good mental health being, as an overall rule, much better for society as a whole.
Yes.
And the things that are also delivered as a part of that psychedelic therapy experience are things like an increased sense of empathy and compassion. And for me, I would really prefer to live in a world where people are more empathetic and compassionate, as opposed to people taking antidepressants who are numb to each other and their feelings.
So what do you see the future? What do you see in the future of this psychedelic, psilocybin assisted psychotherapy? What do you see? Are you optimistic about the future of it right now? Obviously there's some very recency bias that you have, but how are you feeling about, in a general sense, the future of this?
I feel fairly confident that it's going to happen.
Okay.
So, of course, I'm in the middle of the charter challenge here, where we're trying to get it legalized.
Okay.
What I'm really looking for is more what I would call a medicalization. So I would not necessarily be looking for like a free-for-all, in the same sense that cannabis is. I don't really see psychedelics as being that purposeful in a recreational sense.
Okay.
But for a patient to be able to talk to the doctor and decide that perhaps this is a therapy that would be effective for them, and for a doctor to be able to just refer that patient to a qualified professional therapist who has access to a safe supply of a known quantity of the psychedelic substance, where you can have a predictable input and a predictable outcome. Those are things that I think are more likely outcomes from this psychedelic therapy movement.
Got it. Okay. So in terms of your story, it was very, very, again, an amazing story. And I can't thank you enough for sharing it with me and with the world. And you said you're yappy and stuff, so it's good.
I am, as you can see by looking at the clock.
No, I am too. So this is amazing. I didn't know what to expect when we first started talking, or before we talked, and I'm so thankful how accepting and open you are. I guess, like, what what could someone like me do to help? Because right now, my view from my perspective is exposure on it. I understand Therapsil's latest post about your story was to contact the minister, and I think there was your MP maybe, or there was a couple other things in there.
Yeah, your own MP and the Minister of Health, Carolyn Bennett, is.
So that's something that I could do as an individual.
As an individual,
but and that's something I want to share, and I will be sharing maybe on my LinkedIn that I had a conversation with you, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Just because I've already had some thoughts about everything I've researched about you and the situation of the current state of this. And then now I want to talk about this more. How else could someone like me help with bringing exposure to this? I feel like exposure is the right thing. But if there's something else, how could someone like me help in this mission to accelerate the chance or accelerate the acceptance and government approval of
Yeah,
of
boy, the big things are really contacting the minister and awareness. So anything that we can do that educates the public on I guess the realities of the therapy, as opposed to the propaganda on the war on drugs that is actually out there.
Mhm.
That's, I think, helpful to people. People have these preconceived notions that this is what psychedelics are about, and most of it is not right.
Mhm. Are there other, like, you're like the loudest one, I guess, so far that I've found. Are there
Pretty
other,
happy.
I mean, it's sad to hear that other people are trying and they're suffering in silence, and some of them are no longer here to even like push this forward. And I'm not sure how much families of those people or friends are wanting to, carry the torch and go through more grieving going through
Mhm.
it. So I know when I talked to Dr. Masuda, she was saying, I'll see if who would be willing to talk to you, because they are also burnt out with all of this crap.
Yeah.
Not just the cancer, but everything else involved with it. So where was it going with that? Oh yeah, all these other people. Are there other people that are also as open about talking about this sort of stuff? And again, I'm trying to think of how I could, in a captivating way, capture some of this and like share it with the world. And I think it's really cool because I would like to think Canada is progressive in these things. Sadly, right now it's really bad because nothing's happening. And the US is federally, they don't even have cannabis legalization. So we don't know what they're going to do federally, and they have their own things, but it's nice to see things popping up. And I feel like there's a lot of stories. Sorry, I should say there's a lot of stories online, and there's the foundation, Nikian Foundation. And I know there's a couple others. I watched some of their videos. They're great, but they're all like self-medicating and self stuff, which is still good, I think. And I think, and they weren't doing it recreationally. They got benefit. Maybe they were doing it recreationally, but they found something from it. I want to talk about the real healthcare system, that sort of side of it, and share that this is so close. We're so close, yet so far from something big like this. Are there other people that are, yappy that I should start following and look into?
I wish I could direct you at somebody who is like me, but there aren't many of us.
So they've given up on the hope
Well,
of this?
not everyone is quite as comfortable being as public as I am.
Okay.
If you check with Janice Hughes, for example, she's another person who is on the Charter Challenge.
Okay.
You might be able to contact her through Therasil as well.
And what's the Charter Challenge? Sorry, just in brief. You guys are just challenging the law, like the laws around
Canadian
this?
Charter of Rights. We're challenging that because
that's what you're using. Okay.
Yeah, we believe that access to this medicine is a right.
Yes.
And it shouldn't be illegal in the first place.
Got it. And Janice Hughes is a member
fellow
of Parliament?
plaintiff.
Okay. Is she also someone that's used
psilocybin?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like for treatments and stuff?
She's another cancer person.
Okay, yes, that's what I meant. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, got it. And she's from the East Coast?
She is in Winnipeg, actually.
Winnipeg. Wow.
Okay. Not sure if she's in Winnipeg, but she's in Manitoba. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Thank you so much. I think I sent you Steve's contact info.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Steve is a brain cancer patient who is in Ontario. He is also used psilocybin. He's not part of the Charter Challenge, but he's a interesting young guy to talk to.
Oh, he's young.
Yeah, he is.
How old?
Probably closer to your age.
I'm 30, so around my age, I guess. Wow.
Yeah, I would say somewhere similar to that, if not maybe even younger. But he's
Okay.
got a young family and stuff.
Wow. Okay. Well, this gives me a lot to digest. I want to, if you could send me the video of this, that'd be awesome. So I can watch it over and
I
just
will. I'll drop
contemplate
this up
all.
to my OneDrive, and
Yeah.
it'll take a little while to get there
Don't
because
worry about
it's
that.
a long video. But
Jeez.
once it's
Yeah.
on there, I'll send you a link.
Perfect. And I guess exposure, and I have to do the little things. So I have to do the MP, contact my MP and the minister. I can do that. I should have done that before I talked to you. But uh yeah, no, I'm gonna think about this a little bit more. And I genuinely am like, if I could fly over there and like film this like film a conversation with us, and then and get some B-roll footage like CBC and CTV, but maybe fancier. And then maybe I'll talk to Steve, you said. And this is more important than you and and I think that's, again, I can't say it enough. What you're doing is hard. It's not easy.
When you asked me, that question about if I could just grow them and do them, again, the answer to that is yes. But
Yeah.
I am willing to do things the hard way,
Yeah.
so that the people who follow me have a path to follow. That's the whole reason. I know it sounds
No, I get it.
silly.
No.
Why aren't I just doing mushrooms? But I shouldn't have to struggle this hard, and I don't want other people to have to struggle this hard.
The other thing that your comment about assisted death made me think was about the all these foundations and organizations that exist to like Make-A-Wish and stuff. And I think they're generally for younger people, but also I'm sure that I know there are some for adults. There's these foundations that raise all this money and do all these things to give you happiness, a little bit of happiness that you could get, and you go on this trip or whatever you get. And you hear about all these things, you feel these are the feel good stories, and you can get all that, but maybe you only want one thing, and you just want inner peace, and there's an answer available to you, and it's just not given to you. And that's kind of like,
yeah, that is exactly how it is. I'm not going to pretend that it's going to be the cure-all for everybody, or fix everybody's problems or anything like that. I'm a realist. It's going to work for a lot of people. And for the people that it will work for, it has the potential to really improve the quality of life for whatever life they have left. Why wouldn't you want that?
Well, thank you so much, Thomas. Again, means so much. Love what you're doing. I'm a big fan.
Which is really weird to me, because I'm extremely ordinary.
I understand, but it's still, I mean, you don't have to take time to talk to me. You don't have to share your story. You don't have to be going to the CBC and Facebook and Therapsil and helping them with all this stuff. So I'm just kind of beginning my journey with figuring this out. But I'm I want to do something a little bit more that like formal, I guess, in a way where we have a conversation, because the world needs to hear your story. The world needs to hear your story, because it's one of several, but maybe, like you said, many people don't want to share their story. And I think that it's and by the way, do you have a lot of people that are asking to like me, like asking, hey, can we do something? Or whether it's podcasts stuff, are they reaching out?
I've done quite a few podcasts.
I can imagine.
Not like I've got a whole list of documentaries or anything like that.
Okay.
I like being able to do podcasts and things like that, because it's a decent format to be able to get the story out there, and talk about things in a way that is relatable to other people. That's one of the reasons why I think I'm not a bad face to put on this movement, because I'm ordinary like everybody else is. I'm just comfortable talking about uncomfortable things.
And most people they'll share it on a one-to-one basis, but they won't share it with with the public, right? So yeah. Well, Thomas, I should let you go, but thank you so much. I will reach out to Steve, and I'll do a little bit more thinking about what I'm gonna do here next. But your story has already left a huge impression on me, and it's different than watching the videos and CBC and stuff. This is real. So thank you again, Thomas, and I hope you have a great day and week.
Oh, you
Yeah.
as well, Raj.